Hello everyone, Larry Satchwell here again. Today's video is a little bit of an update on what's going on around the farm here. The farm is 5 acres, but we really enjoy it. We had a big work day here not long ago. Last weekend, Hurricane Irma had come through, made a mess in the barnyard. The horses have been at another farm since horse camp, so it gave us a few weeks to work around here. We've gotten some more grass in our pasture area. While they were gone, we took the opportunity to dig this common area out and add some crush and run and get them ready for Stallsavers. We ordered the Stallsavers in the midst of the hurricane. People from Tampa sent them up. We got them in less than a week. This is going to save my wife, who does all the chores around here, a lot of trouble. The old floor mats got shavings under them. It held the urine in pockets. We've had the Stallsavers in this stall, our front stall, for a long time and have had no problem. So I'm glad we did it, and here's how we did it. Karen and I have decided to install Stallsavers in the other stalls. This Stallsaver has been in here about 8 to 10 years maybe. It is really worn well. Really pleased with it. No rubber mats here. And there's about 3 inches of crush and run under here. I just brushed back the wood shavings to show. So the material I'm going to be using to attach the Stallsaver to my ledger board here is a 1x4 treated. This is a 1x4 I've strung across here to make sure I've got at least 2 inches to put everywhere, and I just hung that off with a couple of 1x4s, and I can move it all the way around here. It'll be what I'll be using to judge the crusher run as well. So it'll come in handy, and it also fits the other stall. This is the Stallsaver from the other stall, and I'll just flip-flop those on top of each other. I'll get that out of the way so I can put some crusher run under it, and no one's ever tripped over it, and it has not shown anywhere. All prepped and ready for the crusher run, which is on its way. Here's where we are today. That's some lime splashed up there on the wall, but we've got this one flat, back stall, 10 by 12. This, what we call common area here, is a little more than 12, 13 by 16. So the next step is to put in the Stallsavers. The Stallsavers are going to arrive in a box, and they're heavy. The total weight on these is a little over 80 pounds. FedEx delivered them last week. The folks in Tampa, the Stallsavers.com, sent them out during Irma, the hurricane. Can't ask for better service than that. What I'm going to do right now is unpack them and lay them out and let them relax. I'm going to do the big stall first because I don't want to keep trampling over this tamped crusher run. And then I'll install the second one. So I'm going to unbox them and let them relax. We'll let them relax here. I'm going to go up and have a cup of tea and read the Ultimate Stall Liner installation directions. It's been several years since I put in the last one. I read online that they sell a little kit, a banding plastic kit to put around the edge. I've elected to use 1x4 treated lumber, and I think there was mixed reviews on the plastic strip they give you, but I'll go over that when we start. We had a really productive day yesterday. Thanks to Jake, Jeff, and Ethan, we got the stalls all ready to go. Ben was here. He removed several dead pine trees up in the woods that were threatening the arena and the kids, and several dead oaks. He also moved that enormous tree that fell down during Irma on the other side of the fence. That'll help divert some water away from this hill. This has always been a drainage problem. But the oak trees, we have a lot of red oak and water oak, and they just get this black fungus on them and die. If you're watching and you know how to fix that, please leave a comment, because we lose at least 4 or 5 trees a year on our 5 acres here. I have my 1x4s lined up here, and I have them marked off on 16-inch centers. I'm going to be using self-threaded screws or self-tapping screws. These are actually roofing screws, but I think I like the pan head on them. They don't have to have this washer on them, but since they do, that'll even give it more protection from pulling out. I'm going to use a 2-inch screw because it's going to go through 3/4 inches of wood. The fabric is about 1/4 inch thick, and that'll give me plenty of wood to put in the base. I'm going to pre-drill, especially the ends here. I'm going to have to cut these to length sooner or later, but I know that I'm going to need some 8-foot lengths, so I'm going to just drill through here. I've got them all stacked up and lined up. It'll just take a minute to drill these. That's going to get me started. I'm also going to go ahead and put some screws in here and get them started. That'll get me ahead and make it a lot easier and faster. I have artificial knees. Well, they're my knees. I paid for them. It's kind of like a lady with a wig. It's her hair. She's paid for it, but she wasn't born with it. And it is still difficult for me to get up and down. So the less I have to get up and down, the better. And I know I'm going to have to cut some of these, so I will not put screws in all of them right now. But I know I'm going to need a couple to get me started. And this is going to get me started. That last video, my iPad was in the sun and had an emergency shutdown because it got too hot. But we've got the liner in. I'm ready to get started here. I'm going to put the first board in right here. The directions tell you to center this thing. I don't want to center it because I don't want to waste it. So I know that I want this to be level with that ledger board there, and so I can start putting this in and right here in this corner, and all is good. I'm going to have to cut that corner, and that's always a scary part when you're dealing with something like this, but it's something that has to be done. Cuts pretty easily with a razor knife, but you cannot pull this stuff apart. So I have my first piece cut to length. I want it to be level with this board right here. And that's where it is. Maybe a little bit higher. I'll put that in a little bit because I need to raise this other end up. Feels right. So I started this at 11 o'clock, pulling it in. I'll just work my way down this board, keeping it level here. So once I had the boards cut to length, it was a real simple and fast matter. I've got a little bit of a hiccup right there in the corner where those two posts meet. Not a big deal. It's just a little higher over here. And probably noticed when I screwed in that board that the liner just pulled right in. And I've got a little bit of a gap right here, so what I've done is rolled back the liner so I'm not standing on it, and I'm just going to tuck it in under the wood right here so I have a nice smooth fit. Now I'll pull the liner back out and start on this back side. So where this goes into this other stall, it's going to require a little cut here. It's now 12:02, so it's taken about an hour to get this far. That includes a 10-minute hunt for my drill bit that I couldn't find for pre-drilling the ends there so they wouldn't split out. I've got a little bit of a wrinkle right here. I'm going to undo, and that's the beauty of this 4x4 and self-screwing system. I'm going to undo this board and kick out that wrinkle. This barn is far from square. It's close to square, but it's far from square too, like most barns. So I'm going to undo that board, kick out that wrinkle, and call this done. So I've got the wrinkle kicked out. I'm not a carpet layer. It's probably a good thing. I let that one screw in, and this should pull it right tight. I'm really happy with the way this went in, so I'm going to get started on the other one. There we have it, all trimmed out, ready for shavings. Also, that if you saw everybody working on this, everybody had ear protection. Those that didn't have the muffs on had the little foam things you put inside your ears. And the other thing you need to know, I have not gotten any compensation from Stallsavers.com or had any contact with them about this video. And I did this on my own.